Let's talk about trends. I had the pleasure of doing an article for WellSpa 360 looking at the top 10 trends. Now, a lot of those locations are bigger and have a bigger budget. So I want to share the ones that I feel like are the most relevant to what is the mother lode of the industry, which is day spa locations and also wellness locations. And thinking about how I had a location and we didn't necessarily have the budget to do these grandiose gestures, but there are ways to do small aspects of it. One of the first trends was AI powered wellness. So, really looking at the individual's goal, what they wanted to do, and then being able to assist them with some sort of output that will help them achieve their goals. Now, a lot of people are able to do this on their own if they are familiar with the various AI tools from ChatGPT, Claude, and so on. I think there's a Monica now as well. But if they're not as versed in the technology, that's something that you can help them do. So, as a part of the intake form, you can look at like, what are your goals for the year? What do you want to achieve? And then you can actually put that into AI and it will help you create a plan or strategy for that individual to be able to reach their goals. It really is a very customized output experience. But that again, we've talked about AI and getting familiar with that, and you would need to be familiar with that in order to be able to provide that service or amenity. So if you're not, maybe one of your team members are, and you can bring those individuals in and have them assist in developing a customized AI generated strategy. Two, we were looking at holistic sleep optimization, and I did a video a couple of weeks ago looking at the pain point of consumers, and what's really driving people is pain and a lack of sleep. You have a large population, as I said in previous videos, that are perimenopausal or menopausal, and one of the main challenges of that is sleep. So if you can look at treatments, products, strategies to help individuals get more rest, and looking at what their challenge is, and this is, you could also go back to AI and help develop that. Are they having problems falling asleep? Are they having problems staying asleep? Are they getting quality sleep? There are sleep experts that are out there that you could actually bring in. I did a video on socializing your location, so having sleep experts come in, but really figuring out how to make sleep a priority. We are in an epidemic of a lack of sleep, and understanding how important sleep is to our overall lives. So if you can develop some sort of strategy in services, retail, guest speakers that can speak to that, that's going to be huge. One of the other things we saw was this immersive multisensory wellness experience. And what does that look like? What does that mean? That can be the flotation, the water flotation, where it's sensory deprivation, where you're just kind of in this black, in this tank, everything's black and floating. Now, if you have people that are claustrophobic, anxiety, that might be a little bit problematic. But you could also look at VR technology. There's some really cool companies that are out there that will take you on experiences. There is a meditation one that does it. There's actually a company that does VR for spas, and you can travel to different locations. But just this sensory experience more so than touch, but that visual aspect of it. And then if they can get the sensation of it as well. This goes to the next trend, which is tech-enhanced wellness experiences and treatments. And that could be your LED lights, which are huge. Still looking at the suction and the technology for the face, technology for the body, if that is the chairs, if that's like an Oakworks table, whatever that may be, to be able to enhance the aspect of the experience with the use of technology. One of the things that we're really seeing that it's been a trend and will continue, especially as we look more at the integration of wellness and well-being, is this concept of mental health and spiritual well-being. This goes back to that previous video where we were talking about how do you bring people together to socialize. But you could also bring in well-being counselors, coaches, psychiatrists, just anyone who deals with mental health, and being able to speak to those challenges, tips and tools and tricks to be able to address that. If that is, something that you're doing in the treatment room, or that you're bringing in guest speakers, or you're looking at services to be able to address those different aspects of that. The other thing that we're seeing, and this could be a little challenging, I think about my 750 square foot spa where we had one skincare room, one nail room, and one massage room, is this idea of using water for healing. And what we did do, we had copper foot bowls. And so you were able to soak your feet in the copper. Copper has its own healing and medicinal values. If you have a bigger space and you're able to have individuals soak in tubs, or a trend that's really coming back that I saw 20 years ago is Watsu. So it's shiatsu, almost like an acupuncture, traditional Chinese medicine experience that's done in the water. Similar to like a Thai or a lazy man's yoga, all done in the water. As someone who absolutely loves the water and would give anything to live close to an ocean again, I live in the middle of a desert, this one really resonates with me. And like, I have the pleasure to go to high-end properties. I live in Las Vegas, and most of them do have some sort of water aquatic experience, be that steam room, sauna, tubs, soaking baths, whatever. But those are definitely on par and on trend. If you're able to accommodate that, maybe that's even just putting the inflatable hot tub in a room. Now you got to make sure that it's cleaned, right? So you can look at these different aspects and options, but you have to think about the logistics that go along with it as well. But water is definitely a really big trend, and I think that's going to continue because we just understand the healing power of water, and people want to have those experiences and bathe and soak, and we're seeing a lot more hammams and Turkish baths and just those different experiences. So figuring out a way, if you have a more intimate boutique location, on how you can bring those experiences in. The other thing that we're seeing, and this is going to be so important as you're looking at retail, is wellness at home. So being able to take that spa experience home with them. What we're also seeing is, for that high-end consumer, is they are actually buying the spa equipment, they are buying the flotation beds, they're buying the massage tables and chairs that vibrate and have the healing, and creating their own wellness experiences at home. Again, that's not everyone, but if there are candles, eye pillows, different products, aromatherapy that you can offer to them, that they can then carry those experiences home. And we've seen the power of things like smell and memory, where it's able to take you back to that place of healing, and you are able to have that sense of wellness and calm and relaxation at the spa, and then being able to carry that at home. Last but definitely not least is this idea of diversity and inclusivity, and belonging in wellness locations. What you may not realize is that Black women, like myself, spend about $1 billion a year in the spa, wellness, and beauty industry. It's about 9 times more than any other demographic. Yet when you look at the marketing, when you look at the services, when you look at the offerings, it is not designed and geared towards the high spend group that I'm in. And so you have this opportunity to include more diversity. And that's going to be in your team members. That's going to be in your board members. That's going to be in the retail products. That's going to be in the design of the spaces. We don't do the rain showers. We're not getting our hair wet, right? That's going to be in maybe the shampoos and the different things that you offer to be able to tap into that set demographic, because we spend the money, but we want spaces where we feel included and we have a sense of belonging. So really thinking about that. And that's going to be a trend that continues for years and years and years. So really embracing that now and figuring out how to incorporate that strategy into your location. If you have more questions, feel free to follow up. You can reach me at thespotsos@gmail.com, and we can set up a Calendly conversation to think about ways to be able to bring these trends into your location. With that, until next time, be well.